Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk in English on PTS.
Get ready to learn something new. My name is Andrea.
And my name is Gabe, and you will learn something new from our lesson today. They are still in Hualien. Now first, let's get started with some key words. The first one is polite. Polite. It's polite to knock on the door before you open it.
Invite. Invite. I'm having a party and I'm inviting you.
Rude. Rude. Don't talk when the teacher is talking. That is rude.
Well, friends, let's say these key words together again. The first one is polite. Polite.
Invite. Invite.
Rude. Rude.
Well, everybody, I would like to invite you now to go and find out what today's mission is. Hey, Eddie.
Yes?
What's today's mission, please?
Did you say please?
I did say please.
Yes, Gabe was very polite.
Okay, well, since you asked me so politely, here it is. Who is the real owner of the coin?
Who is the real owner of the coin?
Well, everyone, would you please join us as we go now to Hualien?
The real owner is Brian.
How do you know, Patty?
Because there is no April 31st. The month of April only has 30 days.
That's right.
Fine, take your coin.
Oh my.
Paul? I'm sorry, okay? Sorry.
I really don't like Paul.
Poor Paul. You know, he said he was sorry. Well, I guess we'll find out what happens more later. But for now, you know what we found, Andrea?
What did we find, Gabe?
It's true that we have found the answer to our mission right here. The mission is, who is the real owner of the coin?
Who is the real owner of the coin? The real owner is Brian.
Wait, how do you know, Andrea?
Well, we find out in our conversation. Patty is very smart. Patty says there is no April 31st, like Paul said. The month of April only has 30 days.
So Brian is the real owner of this coin. Well, Paul says, fine, take your coin. That's an interesting word to use in that way. Fine. If someone says something and it's true, and you have to agree, 同意, then you could say, fine, you're right.
We usually use this word to talk about how we feel. How are you? I'm fine. We can also use it when you have to agree with someone, even though you don't want to.
Right, so you could say fine in different ways. Now, Susie says something here. She says, oh my. Why does she say, oh my?
Well, oh my. Susie is surprised that Paul would act like that.
Paul threw the coin and ran to the door. So she said, oh my.
Oh my. The dog ran out of the house.
Does he pick on you a lot? Yes. Well, no, not really. He gets picked on too.
Paul just needs help sometimes. We all do.
He wasn't very polite.
No, I think Paul is angry and sad. His parents aren't home very much.
So we often invite him to eat dinner with us.
I try to be nice, but sometimes it's hard.
I'm glad you try, Brian. Paul is a good kid.
Yes, I think Brian is a good guy for trying. You know, Paul is a good kid.
Andrea, I don't like your hair like this. Can you... There we go. That looks better.
Oh,
Okay, go on. Go on.
thank you,
Yeah.
Gabe. Interesting. Well, I think it is nice of Brian
Andrea, can you slow down a little bit?
to... Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gabe. Okay, I will slow...
Thank you, Gabe. Okay. I will
Gabe?
slow down.
Gabe, why are you picking on me?
Andrea, I'm picking on you because that's what happens in this conversation. John asks, does he pick on you a lot? We can talk about pick on.
I see. Now I understand, Gabe. Now, when you pick on someone, that means you do something to a person that might upset them or not make them very happy.
Yeah, that's right. Usually when you pick on somebody, they aren't very happy. It's not very polite to pick on people, and I'm sorry I picked on you, Andrea.
Well, that's okay, Gabe. Now you are being very polite. And friends, that's our key word, polite. Polite. If you are polite, that means you are very kind. You use nice words to talk to people. It's polite to say please and thank you.
It's very polite to say those words. And if you have hurt somebody, then you can say, I'm sorry. And it's also polite to tell them, I forgive you. Now, if you are not polite, you can put I am in front of the word and it becomes impolite. That means not polite.
Yes, now we want to try to be polite all the time. Use words like please and thank you. And try not to pick on people.
No, don't pick on people. And when you have a party, be sure to invite me.
Oh, that's true. That's polite. And our next keyword is invite. Invite. When you invite someone to do something, you ask them to join.
So, when you have a party, like I was saying, please invite me. Invite Andrea.
Paul was rude.
Yes, but we need to be kind anyway. We aren't nice to everyone all the time either.
No, you're right, Susie Ayi.
Well, I'll call Paul's mother later.
Susie Ayi, I can clean up.
No.
Mom, you've had a long day. We'll clean.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie Ayi. Dinner was so good.
Thank you, Susie Ai.
Thank you all so much for joining us.
Yes. Patty says dinner was so good.
What did Patty say, Gabe?
Patty really liked dinner.
What?
Andrea, you're interrupting me. That's rude.
I'm sorry, Gabe. Yes, it's true. I was rude, but I was rude for a reason.
Why?
Well, because rude is a key word.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. You're great. Let's teach this key word. The word is rude. Say it with me. Rude. If you are rude, that means you are not polite. You are impolite. You are rude.
Patty says Paul was rude. And it's true, Paul was rude. He wasn't polite. He wasn't very nice, even though his neighbors invited him for dinner.
Well, later in the conversation, Patty says, Susie Ai, I can clean up. This is a very good phrase to know. I can clean up. You can use it if you want to help someone clean something. You can say, I can clean up. Don't worry about it. I can clean up.
It's especially nice if someone invites you to their house for dinner. When you say, I can clean up, it's a way to show that you appreciate the dinner.
Yes, and you can also say, I can help you if you want to help them in other ways.
Inspector E.
Hello everyone, I'm Mr. E. It's time to look more closely at our lessons. Let's listen to something that Brian said in one of our lessons this week.
But it's not yours to share. But it's not yours to share. But it's not yours to share.
What is Brian talking about? Well, let's take a closer look. In our story, Brian and his family were having dinner with Patty and their neighbor Paul. After dinner, Paul was playing with a coin. Brian said that it was his coin, and he asks Paul to give it back. Paul doesn't want to give it back. Instead, he says he'll share the coin with Brian. That's when Brian says, "But it's not yours to share." Brian means that the coin doesn't belong to Paul. And because it doesn't belong to Paul, he cannot decide to share it. Only the person who owns the coin can decide to share it. You can use this phrase in many different ways. For example, it's not your book to give away. This means that the book doesn't belong to you. You cannot give it away. Or, it's not my choice to make. Someone else has to make the choice. I cannot make it. Or, it's not his money to keep. This means that the money doesn't belong to him. He cannot keep it. Well, this is your lesson to learn, so I hope you practice it. Remember, use it or lose it. This is Mr. E, signing off.
Conversation replay.
The real owner is Brian.
How do you know, Patty?
Because there is no April 31st. The month of April only has 30 days.
That's right.
Fine, take your coin.
Oh my.
Paul? I'm sorry, okay? Sorry.
I really don't like Paul.
Does he pick on you a lot?
Yes. Well, no, not really. He gets picked on too.
Paul just needs help sometimes. We all do.
He wasn't very polite.
No, I think Paul is angry and sad. His parents aren't home very much.
So we often invite him to eat dinner with us.
I try to be nice, but sometimes it's hard.
I'm glad you try, Brian. Paul is a good kid.
Paul was rude.
Yes, but we need to be kind anyway. We aren't nice to everyone all the time either.
No, you're right, Susie Ayi.
Well, I'll call Paul's mother later.
Susie Ayi, I can clean up.
No.
Mom, you've had a long day. We'll clean.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie Ayi. Dinner was so good.
Calendar phrase.
Andrea, this place is a mess. Look at the floor. It needs to be cleaned.
Gabe, I can clean up.
You can clean up?
Yes, I can clean up.
Are you sure?
Yes, I like to clean. I can clean up.
Okay, well, let's learn today's calendar phrase first, and then you can clean. The phrase is, I can clean up.
I can clean up.
Now, if a place is messy or kind of dirty, then it's a good idea to clean it up. And maybe you can be the first to say, I can clean up. It's a good idea. I can help by cleaning something up.
You can also use this phrase after you eat, and there are many things still on the table. Say, I can clean up. You can make sure the table is clean again.
So maybe your room is messy right now, but before you clean it up, let's go and watch today's calendar phrase skit.
I can clean up.
I can clean up. The kitchen is so dirty.
Sorry, I can clean up.
What happened?
Jan, Marie, and I had a food fight.
Really? Why didn't they help clean up?
Well, I was throwing most of the food at them, so they left.
Oh,
I can clean up.
I can clean up too.
I can clean up.
I can clean up.
Well, hey, now it's time for the QOD. Andrea, are you ready?
Well, I am ready. I like to practice what we learn with our question of the day.
Okay, so Eddie, are you ready?
I am ready for the... Wait,
Eddie.
who has the question of the day?
Eddie, please.
Eddie, you do!
Please give us the question.
I have it. Okay,
Thank you, yes.
okay, sorry. Okay, I have the question of the day. Here it is. Who do you fight most with? Why?
Who do you fight most with? Why?
Well, I fight most with my husband, but I also love him the most.
Okay, well, we often fight the most with those that we love the most. That's very interesting. Well, thank you, everybody. What's your answer to this question? We want to thank you, friends, for joining us here on Let's Talk in English on PTX.
Where learning English can be fun. Bye-bye.